I'm Dawn, and I would like to welcome you to my channel. Daughter is away at college, and this is her freshman year, so it's always a little tough first year away. She was recently home for a nice long Christmas break, but went back and I think is a little homesick. We know we miss her certainly, so I wanted to send her a really cute Valentine's box to let her know we love her and we're thinking of her. So I thought I would head out to the store and see what goodies we can find to put in a box. Come along with me. This would be cute from the dogs. So she really misses the dogs. I thought this would be so cute. I can either put it over white paper and make my own wrapping paper, or just put it in, let her put it on what she wants to, but little doggies, it's cute. So I'm gonna make cherry squares, something that I've enjoyed since I was a child and have made for years. So I thought it'd be cute to send her cute little napkins and plates for their dorm room, and she could have her girlfriends over and have a cherry square together. So I thought this would be so cute. I love pink, she loves pink, and then this is just the right size for the cherry square. I think that's gonna be really cute. That's cute. I mean, who doesn't need little foil wrapped hearts? Chocolate, way to a girl's heart. She likes buying me face masks, so she must love them. So I think I'm gonna get her a cute little face mask. It's pink. It goes. It's so cute. Okay, I think we're set. I think we have everything we need. We just need to go home and make the cherry squares and then package up with goodies. Okay, so I'm back home from the store. I'm ready to make these cherry squares I mentioned earlier. They are a dessert that's near and dear to my heart. My mom made them when I was growing up for special occasions like, you know, baby or wedding showers. And I just think they're so cute, and they're perfect for Valentine's Day because of the red cherries. Just so sweet. And I think it's easier to send than something that's a little messier. They're kind of substantial. So I'm gonna get going. I have to tell you, my bonus daughter gave this to me for Valentine's Day last year, and I just think it's so cute. So I think she'll appreciate that I have this out today. So first thing I'm gonna do is turn on the oven. You're gonna preheat your oven to 350 degrees, so start with that so it's ready when you're ready. So the first thing you're gonna do is take a half a cup of butter. I have it already warmed up on the counter. You just want it room temperature. And you're gonna put it in your mixer, whatever mixer you have. You're gonna mix this with sugar. So first I'm gonna put the butter in. Okay, I have the butter in. Now I'm gonna measure 1.5 cups of sugar and add it to the butter to cream together. 1 cup, and 1/2 cup, little dot, right there we go. Okay, level, and I'm gonna pop on my beater. So it's gonna need to mix for about 2 minutes. So we're gonna give it a good mix on about medium speed for 2 minutes. I'm just gonna scrape it down a little bit, make sure everything's getting blended evenly. Sometimes a little bit of butter will stick at the very bottom of the pan, and I just wanna make sure everything is getting properly incorporated. We get a real smooth, creamy mix. I'm gonna pop it back up and finish the 2 minutes. The next thing I'm going to do is add 4 eggs, but you want to add them one at a time to get them really blended in. So I'm just going to turn it on low and put one in at a time. And again, these are somewhat room temperature at this point. 1, 2, 2 more. And turn it up a little bit, make sure they're getting blended in. 3. Last one. And turn it up a little bit, make sure it gets all blended in. Okay, now I'm gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla. I love vanilla. It gives it that homemade taste. Okay, and mix that in real quickly. Let's give it a little blend. Great, and then I'm going to add the flour, and you're gonna use 2 cups of flour. So I'm gonna scoop up 2 cups and add them gently in. I'm gonna lower this. Even cups. 1, 2, and whenever you add flour, it can cause a poof, a dust, a mess, so you want to start really slow and gentle. But you don't want to overmix something once the flour is in either. That can make any kind of a bread or cake tough. So I am going to do a slow mix. And then I'm going to quickly mix it in with my spatula and make sure everything's mixing in. I don't want to overmix. All right. And there you have it. You can see it's a nice creamy color. All right, so now I'm gonna add this to my pan. If I'm using any kind of pan other than stoneware, I would at this point use a good baking spray and flour to make sure it lifts out afterwards. However, I'm using stoneware and I just don't need to do that with my stoneware. It cooks super evenly and will come out really well. So if you're not using stoneware at this point, you'll want to grease your pan. So I'm going to take the mixture and I'm just going to spread it evenly throughout this pan. It is a thick dough, so I'm going to have to scrape off the speeder a little bit. It's a little gummy. The texture is consistency at all. It's more like a cookie dough to me, which I love cookie dough. Who doesn't love cookie dough? Yum. Okay, so I'm going to just show you real quickly what I'm working with. It's a very sticky, tacky kind of dough. It's going to make more of a pound cakey type substance. So, okay, we're going to pop this in here and just scrape with I love having a big, fat spatula to help me with this kind of thing. All right, you gather all this up. It doesn't seem like an enormous amount of dough, but it's just right. It will make 12 cherry squares. If you do it this size, you can always change the size of your square. And just get a little bit more. I want to get all the goodness out of here. I can. We're good to go. Put that in the sink. We've got some on the edge. Okay, so I'm going to scrape this down, and all I'm going to do is give it a good spreading down into the pan. Again, you can see how thick it is. And I'm just going to spread it to the edges, all the way to the edges here, edges over there. So you can see this. It's just really nice and thick. It's like a strawberry shortcake. If you make strawberry shortcake from scratch, which I promise you I will do a video on strawberry shortcake, because I have the most fabulous recipe. An honorary type aunt of mine growing up would make her grandmother's strawberry shortcake. And since a child, strawberry shortcake was one of my very top favorite desserts. Her shortbread recipe is absolutely to die for. So anyway, that's a whole nother video, but it just reminded me it's same kind of thick texture. All right, so now I have my base of my cherry squares. It's a really good, basically homemade vanilla platform vehicle to get cherries into your mouth. Okay, so here we go. Ta-da! The next step, and it will go a lot faster at home. I'm talking to you and chit-chatting, but this is actually one of those high reward, low investment desserts. So now I'm going to just score, and by scoring, when you see that in a recipe, that just means you're marking it, right? You're not cutting all the way through it, you're just giving a visual kind of a cut line, and you're just marking it into squares so that I know later where to put my cherries. So I'm kind of like marking up where my cherry squares will be. So I will have 3, 6, 9, 12. So I need one here, and one here. Doesn't have to be perfect, but that's gonna be 3, 6, 9, 12. So to do that, I just need a cut here, and one here. So hopefully you can see that they're marked off into 12 little squares, and that will help me when I go to put the little cherries in. So I'm just gonna take my cherry pie filling, open it up, and you know, if you have more people to cook for or you're having a bigger party, this is a really good recipe to double. And I say that because I never use all the cherries in here, and it feels a little wasteful if I can't find kind of another use for them. So I would recommend doubling this if you have the time or need. I even freeze them. So We're just doing single this time. Oh, my oven's ready. See, perfect timing. Okay, so we're gonna take the cherries. I do 2 to 3. I think I'm gonna go for 3. If I was trying to make for a party like a cute small size, I could certainly make more squares by scoring it smaller, and I would do 1 little cherry and make them really petite. I'm doing a little bit more substantial size, which is the bit more traditional way, and I think it's gonna be a little hardier to mail and stay fresh longer. So I'm gonna take the cherry and I'm gonna just put it right here in the center and push it in gently, just a little bit. And it's more because I have my hand tilted than anything. And I'm gonna add 1 more. And the 3rd one. And you wanna get some of the pie filling in with it, because that's just so good. So I go heavy on the cherries. You don't have to, just personal choice. I like a lot of the gooey center. It's like, how much jam do you like with your toast? So I'm gonna continue here and put 3 in every square. So I have 1, 2, and you can see I'm pulling them out of the cherries container 1 at a time, and a 3rd. Again, 1, 2, 3. And you're just gonna continue until they all have 3 cherries. They're so cute. I mean, what girl wouldn't like cherry squares? There's something girly and cute about it for Valentine's Day that I just love. And even though I'm not doubling, I can only ship so many, so there might be 1 or 2 left over for me to have with my tea today. Wouldn't that be nice? It's really hard to smell it and see it and not get one, so I know she wouldn't mind if I took one. Okay, so here we have, I'm not gonna tilt it for long because I don't want it to slip, but here's a quick view at what I'm gonna put in the oven. Okay, so let's pop it in the oven. And you wanna put it in the middle rack. You don't want it too low where it gets too hot, and you don't want it too high. I like the middle rack. And take a peek, and let's let it do its thing. Check on it in 25 minutes. Okay, so while the cherry squares are cooking, I'm gonna clean this mess up and pull out all the things I purchased at the store today for the box and start wrapping that and putting that together. Okay, so the cherry squares are in the oven. It's smelling really good in here. I just pulled out what I purchased at the store this morning. It was really fun to go and not have a firm idea of what I was looking for, but just see what they have. I did have a couple of things I had already purchased that I saw that reminded me of her, but I was able to finish out the little basket. So I'll show you what I have here. I have a card for her dad and myself to fill out, so it's really cute. I think it's young and cute, really sweet. I have tissue, I'll probably use it just to fill in the box, make it cute when she opens it. And what girl doesn't want her own supply of cotton candy? It brings out the inner little girl of all of us. When my nieces were little, we would go to the Santa Monica Pier and I would buy them each their own cotton candy. One liked, I think, blue and one liked pink. And secretly it was kind of a way for me as an adult to sneak a little. So if I bought my nieces cotton candy, I could have some. And then she absolutely misses our 3 dogs. We have a Bernedoodle and 2 Shih Tzus, and so I thought the dogs could send her some little dog stickers, super cute. She loves any little kind of face mask and gave me one recently, so I thought it'd be fun to give her her own little face mask to do in her dorm room. And then I thought this was really cute. She can have her hallmates over with her roommate and her and have her cherry squares together. So, and they can use these, of course, as the month goes on. But cute little heart-shaped napkins, little plates for their dorm room. When we moved them in, they got these cute little plants, and they've actually really thrived. They have a beautiful window overlooking trees, so it seems to be a good spot for plants. So I thought this might give them, give her a little project to do with her roommate. They're just cute little flowers, little teeny pots, and then, of course, the obligatory chocolates, hearts, foil-wrapped chocolates. So cute. And then Cupid is sending her a little lip balm. I mean, that's so cute. Who doesn't like a lip balm? Then this is something I just had found in a local store, and I had taken to a neighbor's house when she had me over for tea recently, and they actually are good. They're little heart-shaped chocolate and vanilla cookies, cute packaging. I'm a sucker for cute packaging. And then my bonus daughter would borrow my hat when she was home a lot, so I'm sending her her own stocking cap that's very similar to the one she borrowed of mine. So here, that's what we have to work with. The box I already had from a recent shipment I received is about this size. So when I had the cherry squares, I think it might all fit in just right. Okay, so the cherry squares look great. I'm gonna pull them out. They smell so good. Okay, so here they are. They smell delicious. They look great. And the way you can tell they're cooked is they are firm to the touch. It's not doughy. And there's a nice little hint of golden color around, especially the edges where they've properly cooked. So while these are cooling, you want to bring them down to room temperature before you cut into them. I'm gonna let them cool down to room temperature. And then we will cut them and sprinkle them with a cute dusting of powdered sugar. And then I'll pop them into the freezer and show you how I seal them, package them up, freeze them before shipping. Okay, so while these were cooling down, I boxed up the goodies I bought at the store today. So all I need to do now is package these up for shipment. So what I do, if you have enough time and you're not sending it the same day, I always freeze everything. I wrap it really well, then I freeze it so that it kind of starts to thaw en route. It is winter here, which helps. When she first went to school, mid-August, that was a little tough. I couldn't send anything chocolate. I did find a kind of a hearty bar cookie I could send, but again, I just freeze it so it stays as fresh as possible and then kind of thaws along the way, and it's, I think, just the freshest way possible to deliver some goodies. So we have the 12 cherry squares, and originally we had scored it to show us where to put the squares, but of course when it cooked, it goes over those lines, which is totally fine. You're just gonna kind of freeform cut it. You can't go wrong. It doesn't matter if they're all perfectly sized or not. So I'm just gonna cut between each set of cherries. And we will have 3, 6, 9, 12. We won't tell her because we're gonna steal a couple for afternoon tea, but that's okay, she'll have plenty. So I'm gonna start here, and I'm just gonna push down and gently cut backwards. I can't tell you how good these smell. I think it's the vanilla. I don't know if you hear the clicking, but I have a Bernedoodle at my feet, pacing, trying to get his cherry square. So I don't know. He thinks he gets one. He's staring up at me right now. Okay, so I have cut straight down and I've made 4 rows because I'm doing 12. Again, if you do small petite ones, I think it's really cute, especially for something like a baby shower. If you can do little ones with just one little cherry, super cute. It does get a little harder to cut between in case something breaks, but these are cutting beautifully. And again, I cooked these in stoneware, so I find that it's a really good all-even cook. I never have the overcooked bottoms. You can cook, or you can cut the edges off if you choose. If you just want a real clean line and you don't want any of the golden brown edges, and it's just a homemade goodie. It's not meant for like a high tea. At this point, it would be great actually at a high tea. And come to think of it, I have a neighbor friend coming over for tea later this week, so I might have to make this again or set just maybe 4 aside for that. But this is a perfect thing to accompany tea. So here you have it. And then now I'm going to scooch this aside. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do, I think to keep them extra fresh, I actually am gonna start with plastic wrap just for one more added layer. The mail is a little slower right now with everything going on, so I'm just gonna give it one more layer. This is totally optional. Depends on how far you're sending it, how gooey it is, but I am going to do a plastic wrap layer just for extra protection. I'm going to start transferring. I'll move this over here onto the plastic wrap. So I just have this on a really clean counter. I'm just gonna gently go along the edges to loosen the edges up so they don't hopefully crack. When I pull them out, they're ready to go. And you know, as cute as these are for Valentine's Day, they're really pretty at Christmas time. 4th of July, you could do a little bit of a blueberry cherry combination. There's never a bad time to make cherry squares. So I'm gonna start with one on the edge, and I'm just gonna go into my cut marks. It's always the first one that's the hardest to get out. So if it breaks, I might have to eat it. So I'm gonna go in under it. I'm a little scared to take the first one out. I don't want to break it. It's so pretty. but again, I do have the Bernedoodle right below me ready to take it off my hands. So this came out actually really well. So if the first one comes out, that's just kind of the first step. And again, you could cut this edge off. It's a little golden, which is totally fine, it should be. But if you don't want edges for a party, you can certainly cut that off and have a very clean, all of the pieces looking like inside pieces. So now that I have that first piece out, it's gonna be a bit easier, hopefully, to get all of the others out. I'm just gonna slide right under there, loosen around the edges. It's all about really making sure it's ready to come out. So I think I'm gonna just actually stick with the layout of the pan so that they stay nice and cozy. And my goal is to send her, I think, 6. I think that's a good number, at least. They don't stay fresh forever. Don't want too much of a good thing, but it's enough to share. So here we go. Here's the number 3. I think I'm gonna do side by side. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think with her, I'm gonna send more inside pieces. They're just a little prettier. And we want her to think they're pretty. Two more. Again, I just love the way this stoneware cooks these so evenly. I'll show you. The bottoms are just a nice golden. They're not burned. Yay. And one more. Super cute. I think I'm gonna replace this one. I just don't like the look of this one, so nothing wrong with it. It's just not as cute as a pretty square. They are cherry squares after all. So I'm gonna put a square in here. I don't know if you just heard the Bernedoodle just cried. He wants a piece. I think so that these fit really well. I'm just going to go ahead and cut the edges off. I do think that they are prettier, so I'm just gonna give that a quick cut. Might be a little sample. My husband's working from home today, so he might get a cherry square. It will be a good excuse to peel away from work to have a cherry square and fill out the Valentine's card. All right, so here, I'm gonna take some crumbs away. This is kind of what I ended up with. I think there's a nice consistency to these. If she shares with her friends, everybody gets a nice piece. I'm just gonna fold upwards because I don't wanna turn them over. If it was a brownie or something else, a bar pan, I could turn it over, but we need to be extra careful with these because they have jelly tops. But when they cook, the cherry pie filling does kind of get a nice topping to it. It's not actually too gooey or liquidy. And by the time I freeze these, it'll be great. So we have this layer, and then I'm going to put it in freezer paper. You could use parchment paper if you don't have freezer paper. And I'm gonna use the freezer paper, works great. Now I am gonna turn them over. I'm gonna cover it up. I have moving tape. You can use whatever tape you want. We just have packaging tape handy and it will stick wonderfully. There. I'm gonna wrap it like a present. Not so much for presentation, but for, again, freshness. And then this side, I'm kind of moving somewhat quickly because I don't want the cherries to fall out. This should be fine. Again, they get cooked into place. But I'm gonna work a little quickly here. Okay, so now we have it in freezer paper. A little cute package. You don't have to do this, but I like to do one more layer. Besides, she sent me the funniest video last time I mailed her something, and she said, oh, Dawn, you get the award for the best packaging, and she did a funny video of opening layer after layer after layer. I thought, well, it might be a bit much, but it works. And I don't believe anything I sent her broke, so that's a bonus. All right, so now I'm gonna pop it in a layer of foil. And every time I do it, I tend to fold it the other direction. I feel like if this has any gap in it, it's gonna get really well sealed if I go down. So the first time I had a seam, I flipped it on the next layer. Now I'm gonna put the seam down. I just wanna keep any air out I can. I'm gonna fold it here. Give it a fold here. I mean, there's really no right or wrong way to do this. I'm just trying to go for the maximum protection possible. I think it'll be great. So now that it's sealed all up, I'm going to pop it in one more layer, a freezer bag, and then I'm going to put them in the freezer. So I think we move this direction. Actually, I think I can, I don't want to risk ruining them. Let's do it this way. I'm going to squeeze out any air possible. Gently, don't want to squish the cherry squares. And then I'm gonna pop these in the freezer, and I'm going to freeze them overnight. It's a little late in the afternoon to go to the post office anyway, but you could freeze them just even an hour or two would help. You don't have to freeze them, but if you have the time, I do think it makes a difference. That's good. Now we're all packaged up and ready to go to the post office. All I have to do is add some tape, her address, and we're good to go. I hope this has inspired you and you have somebody special in your life to send a care package to, whether it's a parent, a child, or a friend. It's such a fun thing to receive things like this. I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day, and if you found this helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel and look for more videos like this.